In one of the most poignant and heart-wrenching moments of the crucifixion, as Jesus hung on the cross, he expressed a simple yet profound human need. "I am thirsty." This moment is filled with raw emotion, exposing the depths of Jesus' suffering and vulnerability. Instead of receiving water to quench his thirst, a Roman soldier cruelly offered him a sponge soaked in vinegar, lifted to his lips on a stick. As Jesus drank the vinegar, he uttered the powerful words, "It is finished," and in that moment, he surrendered his spirit. This act of drinking vinegar is laden with rich symbolism and profound irony. But what if I told you that this moment was prophesied long before Jesus' crucifixion? The most astonishing aspect is that this prophecy was penned centuries earlier by King David in Psalm 69, where he wrote, "They put gall in my food and gave me vinegar for my thirst." This verse foreshadows the very event that unfolded at Calvary, illustrating not just the physical suffering of Jesus, but also the immense spiritual weight he bore for humanity's sins. The prophetic significance of vinegar. When Jesus cried out in thirst, it wasn't merely a physical need but a deep manifestation of his suffering. The vinegar offered to him serves as a symbol of the bitterness and anguish he experienced on that fateful day. This poignant moment fulfills the prophecy found in Psalm 69, highlighting the depth of humanity's rejection of God's salvation. The act of drinking vinegar starkly contrasts with the grace Jesus offered to the world. While his mission was one of love, redemption, and hope, humanity responded with scorn and mockery. The vinegar represents the world's rejection of divine grace, a painful reminder of the indifference, misunderstanding, and cruelty that often characterize human interactions. In accepting the vinegar, Jesus demonstrated his willingness to bear the burdens of humanity. The sourness of the vinegar parallels the bitter experiences he endured on our behalf. This act encapsulates the essence of his sacrifice, a willingness to embrace suffering for the sake of our salvation. If you're finding this exploration intriguing, please take a moment to like this video and share it with friends. Your support helps us grow and continue bringing these meaningful discussions to life. The Nazirite vow and its implications. The symbolism of vinegar becomes even richer when we consider the Nazirite vow, a religious commitment mentioned in Numbers 6. This vow involved abstaining from wine and grape products, including vinegar. Some scholars suggest that the soldier's act of offering vinegar was a deliberate attempt to humiliate Jesus by breaking his Nazirite vow. However, it's crucial to clarify whether Jesus ever took this vow. The Gospels, which are our primary sources about Jesus' life, do not explicitly indicate that he committed to the Nazirite vow. In fact, throughout his ministry, Jesus was seen drinking wine at the wedding in Cana and during the Last Supper, which contradicts the restrictions of the Nazirite vow. Additionally, Jesus' actions during his life, touching the dead, healing the sick, and engaging with sinners, suggest that he did not adhere to the strictures of the Nazirite vow. The term Nazarene may imply a connection to Nazareth, but it does not indicate a commitment to the vow. Understanding this distinction is critical to grasping the context of the vinegar offered to Jesus. The act of offering vinegar to Jesus can be viewed through various lenses. On one hand, it symbolizes the bitterness of human rejection and the suffering Jesus bore. On the other hand, it reflects a possible act of compassion, albeit limited by the harshness of the times. Some historians argue that from a practical standpoint, vinegar was a common drink among Roman soldiers, known as posca. This drink, made from mixing vinegar with water, was appreciated for its refreshing qualities and ability to purify water. It was often consumed in hot climates and provided some hydration during physical exertion. Given the brutal floggings Jesus endured prior to his crucifixion, it's plausible that the soldier who offered him vinegar intended to provide some form of relief. This perspective doesn't diminish the suffering involved, but adds complexity to our understanding of the motivations behind the act. It invites us to consider the multifaceted nature of compassion in a time marked by cruelty. The symbolism of vinegar in Proverbs. To deepen our understanding of vinegar's significance, we turn to the Book of Proverbs, where several references offer rich insights. For instance, Proverbs 25:20 states, "Like one who takes away a garment on a cold day, or like vinegar poured on a wound, is one who sings songs to a heavy heart." This verse uses vinegar as a metaphor to illustrate the ineffectiveness of insensitivity. Just as pouring vinegar on a wound causes irritation, offering hollow cheerfulness to someone in sorrow can deepen their pain. This principle highlights the importance of empathy and understanding in our relationships with others. It serves as a reminder that, like vinegar, our actions can have unintended consequences on those around us. Similarly, Proverbs 10:26 states, "As vinegar to the teeth and smoke to the eyes, so are sluggards to those who send them." Here, vinegar symbolizes the frustration and discomfort that can arise from laziness. The imagery conveys the irritation caused by unproductive behavior, reinforcing the notion that our actions have a profound impact on others. Through these verses, we see how vinegar serves as a metaphor for life's bitter experiences and the ways in which our choices can affect those around us. The soldier's offering of vinegar to Jesus exemplifies how human actions, even in moments of extreme pain, can have a ripple effect on the broader narrative of redemption. Revelation and the bitter waters. As we explore the biblical significance of vinegar further, we encounter a profound connection in the book of Revelation. In Revelation 8:10-11, we read about a great star called wormwood that falls from heaven and turns a third of the waters bitter, leading to many deaths. This imagery parallels the bitterness associated with vinegar, presenting a harrowing depiction of sin and its consequences. In this context, both vinegar and wormwood symbolize a deep bitterness that reflects the weight of sin in the world. Jesus, in his suffering on the cross, accepted this bitterness on behalf of humanity. His drinking of vinegar can be seen as an act of embracing this bitter cup, starkly contrasting with the life he offered. The connection between vinegar and wormwood serves to highlight the overarching themes of sacrifice, redemption, and the consequences of sin. Just as wormwood causes death and destruction, Jesus' acceptance of vinegar symbolizes the profound suffering he endured for our redemption. It serves as a reminder that through his pain, we find hope and healing. The role of vinegar in the context of suffering. In the context of suffering, vinegar takes on a multifaceted role. It becomes a symbol of the pain and bitterness of life, reflecting the struggles that Jesus faced on our behalf. As he drank the vinegar, he embraced not only his own suffering, but also the collective suffering of humanity. This act prompts us to consider our own experiences of pain and hardship. Just as vinegar symbolizes bitterness, our struggles can often feel overwhelming. Yet, in the midst of our trials, we can find solace in the knowledge that Jesus understands our pain. He willingly bore the weight of our suffering, transforming it into a path for redemption. As we navigate our challenges, we are reminded of the importance of compassion and empathy. Just as Jesus accepted the vinegar offered to him, we are called to embrace our struggles and extend grace to others who are suffering. This connection between our experiences and Jesus' sacrifice invites us to walk alongside those in pain, offering support and understanding. In analyzing the act of offering vinegar to Jesus, we encounter a duality of intentions. On one hand, it symbolizes the bitterness of human rejection and the extreme suffering Jesus bore. On the other hand, it reflects a potential act of compassion, albeit limited by the harshness of the time. This complexity mirrors the broader themes of suffering and sacrifice woven throughout the biblical narrative. The moment Jesus drank the vinegar represents not just his personal agony, but also the collective suffering of humanity. It encapsulates the intersection of divine grace and human frailty, a poignant reminder of our need for redemption. As we consider the historical context surrounding the crucifixion, we gain insight into the complexities of the act of offering vinegar. Traditionally, this act has been interpreted as mockery, Yet a more compassionate perspective emerges when we examine the practices of the time. In ancient Rome, vinegar was utilized not only as a beverage, but also for its antibacterial properties. It was often used to clean wounds, indicating that the soldier's intention might have been to alleviate some of Jesus' suffering. This interpretation, though limited, opens the door for a deeper understanding of the soldier's motivations. Even within the framework of cruelty and mockery, the offering of vinegar hints at the complex nature of human interactions. It challenges us to reflect on our responses to suffering and how our actions can either contribute to healing or exacerbate pain. This moment encourages us to cultivate empathy and compassion in our own lives, mirroring the grace that Jesus extended even in his darkest hour. Connecting the dots, the broader narrative. As we conclude this exploration, it's essential to connect the dots between the act of drinking vinegar and the overarching narrative of redemption. Throughout the Bible, we see recurring themes of suffering, sacrifice, and the promise of restoration. Jesus' acceptance of vinegar on the cross symbolizes not just his pain, but also the fulfillment of God's plan for humanity. It embodies the deep love that God has for us, as he willingly bore the weight of our sins to offer us salvation. In this light, the act of drinking vinegar transforms from a moment of mockery into a profound expression of love and sacrifice. As we reflect on the significance of vinegar in the context of Jesus' crucifixion, we are invited to consider its implications for our own lives. Just as Jesus accepted the bitterness of vinegar, we are called to confront the challenges and hardships we face with grace and resilience. In moments of pain and suffering, we can find comfort in knowing that Jesus understands our struggles. His willingness to embrace the bitterness of humanity reminds us that we are not alone in our pain. We can turn to him for strength and healing, trusting that he can transform our suffering into something beautiful. This understanding invites us to extend compassion to those around us. In a world filled with pain and bitterness, we can be agents of hope and healing. By offering empathy and understanding, we can help others navigate their struggles, mirroring the love that Jesus demonstrated on the cross. In this video, we have journeyed through the multifaceted symbolism of vinegar in the context of Jesus' crucifixion. From prophetic significance to historical context, we've uncovered the layers of meaning surrounding this pivotal moment in history. This exploration serves as a reminder of the importance of delving deeper into biblical narratives, revealing the richness and depth of God's Word. As we conclude, I encourage you to reflect on the themes of sacrifice, compassion, and redemption that permeate this story. Just as Jesus drank vinegar, he invites us to embrace our own struggles and extend grace to others in need. In doing so, we can become vessels of his love and light in a world that often feels dark and bitter. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you found this exploration enlightening, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Together, let's continue to explore the mysteries of faith and the profound teachings of the Bible.